Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into our channel. I really hope this brings some value to you. Today, we're talking about closing a deal and kind of the steps that we take to make sure that we're safeguarding ourselves and setting the right terms in our favor. So today, I have a very special guest. This is Edgar, and
Hello, everybody.
is one of the biggest real estate investors I feel in my county, and has done a very fantastic job for himself. And Edgar, why don't you tell this audience kind of a little bit about yourself?
Yeah.
Like 1 to 2 minutes.
So Edgar Cordova was born and raised in El Salvador. I moved to Rochester, New York in '97. Been working in the same place since then. 2015, I started doing real estate, and I really love it. I mean, I've been very lucky. I closed a lot of deals, close to 30 deals altogether, and this is just doing it part-time.
Mhm.
So, this is really, really important. I've been part of education group that taught me a lot how to do it and what to look out for, and always have different exit strategies so you can you can make the deal work
Nice.
for you. So
Nice. And so, what kind of real estate specifically do you invest in?
So right now, last year I did my first commercial and I really like it. I've been doing residential. So,
Okay.
my first property was a double property, 2 apartments, and it was a big house and a small apartment in the back. So I still own it. That's kind of the best deal that I made. Even though it was my first deal.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So,
Okay. And so, what is your vision? What's the destination you're trying to get to through real estate?
So I have a very set vision. So my vision is to retire in 10 years from my job and do real estate, more like educate people for real estate. So I'm definitely love the real estate, but I see a lot of people that make a lot of mistakes, and they make big mistake that affect all the investors because they go and buy properties that's not worth it and assuming they're going to make money. But you need to educate yourself before you can make those deals. So.
Right, and specifically the targeting the Hispanic community.
Correct. Yeah, and
Yes.
I get calls all the time, from people from my church, asking me because, they live in a lot of the people from my church live in a trailer park, so they buy the trailer park. And I know they don't pay taxes because when they buy a house, they assume they're going to pay taxes one time.
Right.
And that's
Right.
they're like, no, this is how it is. You pay taxes every year.
Every year.
You pay, if you live in a village, you have a school taxes, you have state taxes, you have the village taxes too. And they're like, oh, wow, so I have to pay $3,000 a year just in tax. I go, yeah, that's the way it is.
You got to always have that money saved up for taxes.
And a lot of these people, they save enough money because they're workaholic and then buy the deals in cash and they're assuming that that's all it's going to be. So a lot of
misconceptions,
not enough education when it comes,
right?
Because in our culture, when you buy a property, that's it. You buy it, and then you pay when you sell it again. So you never pay taxes.
Right.
It's a little different.
Yeah, and that's why me and him get along, is because we both have a passion for helping young men. I think it's just due to our nature.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we share that in common on top of our love for real estate. So today, closing a deal. I mean. So I'll go first. The first deal I ever closed was a duplex, and it was an FHA loan, which was a really good tool for someone that didn't have a lot of capital, and it cash flows for me $21,000 every year. So every year I know I'm making back that $13,000, which feels really, really good to know that, and also the equity in it is building up. Then my last deal that I closed, it was for an Airbnb, and that one honestly is getting back to the point where it should be making me $8,000 a month. So I'm really enjoying, running both sides of long-term and short-term. And yeah, that was my first and last deal. But what about you? You said you're now getting into commercial, and your first was a duplex. So what is this last deal you just closed on?
So my last deal, crazy enough, is a church.
Okay.
So
a church.
yeah. So almost 10,000 square feet of proper real estate. That right now we're on the early stage of getting our plan together, going to the town. I just talked to the code enforcer, trying to get an appointment with everybody and propose our plan.
Mm.
We got multiple ideas what to do. So our first, what we want to do is build 10 apartments.
Nice.
So 4 in the first level, 4 in the second level, and then the basement to 2 apartments, and also like an office space, about
Okay.
1,000 square feet office space, to do stuff like meetings and that kind of
Right,
stuff.
right, yeah.
So and who knows? I might make it my office. In
Yeah,
the
you
future.
could
So,
use one. Okay.
yeah. So, but no, that I mean, it was I know that the owner, previous owner, bought it. It's off market deal, and then he listed because it was too much work for them. So
Right.
I'm not afraid of work. The guy who I partner with is basically we buy house for as cheap as $9,000,
There
and
you go.
we
Houses for $9,000. I like that.
yeah.
I like that.
So we're not scared of any deal. So we just put a roof that was a $24,000.
Oof.
So
That's why you got for 9.
yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
So how long? Because here's the thing. I've only bought like a handful of deals. You've over 30, you said. How long do you think it takes to close? Is it based on the individual deal, or how fast do you think deals take to close? Realistically,
yeah.
because there's a
So
lot of misconception out
yeah,
there.
yeah. It all depends. If you're going through the traditional way to the bank, it takes a little longer because but I've been lucky enough that I have it's all my deals have been cash, except I've done about 3 deals owner finance. But when it's cash for me, the one deal took over a year.
Mm.
But it was a bank owned property. And it took a long time. But typically for me, when it's a cash offer, cash deal, you're looking at 5 weeks the most.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So
5 weeks at most. Okay.
yeah. My lawyer knows what's going on. He knows what I like and not. So he just get the contract,
Right.
send me an email. Are you good with this? Everything look good. Let's move on. So
yeah, my first deal was 6 weeks, I believe.
Yeah.
The last one was, say, a little less than a month, maybe 27 days, 28 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never closed a deal in less than a month, but just because I do a lot of due diligence and I want to make sure, like in this church, I brought in an architect to tell me, hey, can we build?
Is it possible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was in the contract, contingency if we can build apartments over here.
Right,
And
right.
so he came, give me the green light, went to check out the zoning for the building in the town, and had a quick conversation with the apartment co-enforcer.
Right.
And he said, yeah, it can be, but you got to do this and this.
Mm.
So he told me, well, it's doable, but are you ready for the work that you need to do before you get there?
Yeah.
That's the way you learn.
You gotta get permission and all that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's perfect because it goes into the kind of last part of this is, what safeguards or terms do you set up when you close a deal or when you're close to closing?
Yeah, well, first,
just like top 2 things you do.
Yeah. The first thing that I do, I just do my due diligence, make sure the deal is in a bit right. And then after that, it all depends. Like when this one that I mentioned again, I only had one contingency to make sure we can build apartments over there.
Right.
That's the main goal. We know we can do about 3 different things over there, but the goal is to build 10 apartments. So just make sure the contract is there that, hey, this is what I want to make sure before I close the deal. This can be done.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
if it can't be, I have no use for it.
I'm not used for it. I'm not going to have it. 10,000 square feet building.
What are you going to do with it? Yeah. Okay.
So no, but just that first. I mean, just do your due diligence. Basically, that's what really you got to call the town. Find out what's going on. You got to talk to the neighbors. You got to have those relationships. You know what I mean? Because the reality is in this particular situation, it's a residential area, so I got to get permission from both neighbors. You know what I mean? So I already built that connection when then, as I was going, you know, I happened to be the one of the person that's very interested in the office space because he can do. He can use it as well, and
so you just lay it out there. This is what I want to do.
Yeah,
I think it will benefit the community.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you know, the only one I asked for the other neighbor was, hey, you know, I want this building to be bring back to what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
My only ask is, you know, can we put a fence over here? Hey, I put the fence here by the material. So have those conversations, you know, and then we're talking about probably 25 to 30 feet of fence. You know what I mean? So I can just buy the material, let him do it. And we had that already, you know, that he's like, okay, you know what I mean? So those little things is going to help you out. Hey, this guy can be my eyes when I'm not there, you know what I mean? Which already is. He basically told me, you know, this building has been empty since I moved here 12 years ago.
Wow.
He's like, I've been keeping an eye on it. You know, I'm glad you're going to do something. Like, I'm glad you're brave enough to put a roof on it because and we're talking about 75 feet high, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, you're not going to get up there.
Yeah, but
you gotta.
But for the neighbor, he's excited because now he doesn't have shingles.
Right, he's not going to see that
in his driveway and stuff like that.
Awesome.
So he was very excited and everything. You know, he will ask the roofer, hey, just let me know where you need me to move my car, you know, so they can bring the lifter over there and get their work done.
They're surprisingly understanding.
Yeah.
I've had some more unfortunate conversations with people not happy.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know, the reality is the first conversation that he had with me was, hey, I see you are doing some work because I see some material drop over here. Can you meet me in my house? I just want to put some, you know, some stuff that I want that I don't want the people to just come over here and, you know, damage my driveway with the lifter and everything. I just want to make sure. Tell me what's going on, who's going to do, and everything. Give me the contacts and everything. He's saying a little. It was very aggressive in the beginning with me. You know, the conversation. It's hey, the reality is that you know we're looking to bring this building back what it used to be.
Yeah.
And any damage is going to cause when these workers are, if they cause any damage, we'll take care of it. And but the more important thing, we will let you know when we start it and stuff like that. He just didn't want it. You know, he seemed like a very private person. He didn't want it.
That's usually how they are.
Yeah. He didn't want people to. He liked to keep his garage open. He got a lot of tools over there. He doesn't want anybody to go there and stuff like that, which is understandable. You know what I mean? So, but no, it was after that conversation. You know, he understood. He offered to do some work on the foundation that he was familiar from both inside and outside.
Yep.
So he's doing some work for me. You know, and
put a little money in his pocket, then he'll be happier.
You just got to walk across the street, and I mean, in the weekends he's a full carpenter. He's masonry.
Oh, that's perfect.
He does all kinds of
Those
stuff.
are the best friends to have.
Yeah.
So I would say the two that I'm hearing is hire professionals come and tell you what's going on with it, and know the history of the house and communicate with the town your intentions.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I like that. I like that. So that's how you close the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Edgar, thank you, man. Like I said, we've known each other for a year, and you know, I've learned a lot from you, and you know, I'm looking forward to doing deals with you in the future. So
absolutely.
Let's rebuild the community.
Absolutely, help some people in the way. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, I appreciate you all tuning in. I hope you got something from this. I know I did. So please like and subscribe because why not?